Hi, and welcome to NEWSWIRE LA. I'm your host, Chin Thomasangsi. You might want to know what gives with the helmet and the vest today. Well, we're out with the City of Los Angeles' Bureau of Street Lighting. As you know, this is the second part of a two-part series that takes a look inside of this department. It's part of NEWSWIRE's continuing series called Inside City Hall. Today we're going to spend the day out with crews who are on the streets, converting a neighborhood from conventional street lighting to LED lighting. We're going to find out from them what the process takes and anything you as a citizen can do to help out. Later, we're going to come back here to the main operations yard in East Hollywood, and we're going to take an informal tour of the department's Museum of Street Lighting. So sit back and enjoy. This is our look at the City of Los Angeles' Bureau of Street Lighting. We'll be back shortly. The morning began when we met our Bureau crew at their work site, which was located just west of Carthay Circle. The crew you see here is one of several that are fully dedicated to handling LED conversions. In other words, changing street lamps is their task day in and day out. After setting out safety cones, the members of this crew get right down to the business at hand. The crews, as quietly as possible, move into position to begin their day's work. This conversion consists of about 6 blocks worth of street lamps. Their target? This Cobra Head street lamp and all of the Cobra Head street lamps located in this area. Here to explain the process is street lighting supervisor and member of the energy efficiency program, Palani M. Segui. He and I are watching from the ground while a crew member works high above the street. We're going to let you watch as the process takes place.
Well, basically they disable the old unit. And we're careful about disabling it because we salvage it, we recycle it, and check and make sure everything meets parameters in there, because we do find issues with older posts, damages, various things, tree trims, things of that sort. And then from that point they pull the old unit, install the new unit.
What happens to those old units once they're taken down?
Basically everything is recycled. We store them at our yard, and we have an auction company that comes and picks them up and auctions them off.
Okay, so they don't go as replacement parts or anything like that for the city?
No.
Now the process of mounting the new fixture is basically the removal process in reverse.
Basically, my crews have a 5-minute limit basically on their time as far as any accessories thing they do. Periodically, we find a bad fuse, we find BO wires, bad wires. Anything we can do to make a quick repair, we do. If it's a major repair, then they document it, and in the day they turn it into me. Unless it's something extreme, then they'll call me immediately. I notify the maintenance and repair district of the issue, and they put it in their system.
Within minutes, the new LED head comes to life for the first time. On every installation, the crew member places their hand over the photocell, which should cause the head to light. In this case, everything works out fine. This process is called a flash test. Now he can maneuver away and move on to the next pole. This was looking at the job in normal time. let's look at more installations using time-lapse photography. And let there be light.
Now will it just be on the computer?
It'll be online for now. It's like, hopefully we'll get it on TV, but it's starting out online. Again, let there be light. And again, let there be even more light. So far we've made every conversion look easy, but that's not always the case. This cobra head is covered by tree branches and leaves. This situation currently cuts down on the amount of light that actually hits the ground and the street. Before the new LED head is put into place, it is decided that those branches need to be cut back. What happens now? Does the crew call street maintenance and have them send out a crew? No. So they will handle the job themselves.
I need to get your batteries from surgeon. Okay. Just go ahead and bring it out here. All right. There you go. Good? Yeah, go ahead and bring it on down, please.
Now that the area around the head is cleared, the actual work of removing the cobra head and placing the LED can begin.
Bird, are you going to trim anymore? Yeah. Okay. Take a look at it.
In mere minutes, the job is complete. When they arrive and they begin installing the lights, one member is preparing the newer light to go up.
Correct.
And I see that he does a scan of the photocell. What's that? Why does he do that?
Yeah, well, that photocell is a new technology. It's called a node, and it's basically somewhat of a smart PE cell, a photoelectric cell. That photoelectric cell, besides just turning the light off and on at dusk and dawn, it also communicates with a computer system. And it gives us information concerning the light, if it's operating within normal parameters, if it's coming on, if it's burning in the daytime, if it's using excessive wattage, various other things.
Wow, so it does everything that the average person would do. Let's say I saw my light burning. You guys would already know that.
Yeah, it's in our system. We go through our system on a routine basis, check. We have engineers that also verify what the system is doing, and like I say, it's basically a smart PE cell.
And I noticed that one of the members of the crew also marks the unit before it goes up.
Right. We do a date of install for for warranty purpose, because of the warranty on it. If the unit fails, then we get a free replacement.
Can you show us up close what one of these units looks like?
Yes, this is what we call a 30 LED. It's a beta lead way unit. The lead way is the the model. The manufacturer is Beta. It's a typical unit that we're putting in residential areas. The units vary by the number of LEDs. In the past, everything was referred to as according to wattage because that was the standard. But now we grade everything by how many LEDs are in it. And depending on the technology, you could have one with less LEDs and with right next to one that has more LEDs and be the same amount of light output because of the technology.
How many LEDs are we using in Los Angeles?
The typical residential is right now we're using a 30 LED, which is equivalent to a 100 watt HPS or 100 watt high pressure sodium light, which is basically what they're pulling down today.
How much energy are these things pulling?
Approximately 50% less.
And what's the life on these bulbs? Or these units, I should say.
These units, they're approximately an 8 to 10 year.
And Ed Ibrahimian, when we sat down with him, he told us that one of the biggest issues, and we were surprised by this, is copper theft.
Yes.
Of wiring in the city.
Yes.
Talk to me about how that occurs.
I don't want to go into detail on it because I don't want to tell people how to do it. We find out about it through various ways. One is constituents call in and complain that the lights are out, and crews come out and find out that there's wire theft. We have special crews that's all they do is wire theft. And what we do to prevent it in the future is we seal up the boxes. We have a special box that eventually the whole city will be covered in, and that it's not impenetrable, but it's a deterrent. And then also another way we find out is that our crews go out for normal repairs and they find that the wire's been stolen. And it's the demographics, most people think this type of things happens in the lower income areas, but it happens throughout the whole city. Anywhere that there is wires that they can have access to, that they can feel free to do what they want to do, it happens. I work throughout the city from the lowest to the richest, and it happens throughout the entire city. And it's a thing that we're constantly working on, constantly coming up with ways to deter it, and it's an issue.
What can we do to help you?
Notify the citizens that when you see somebody out there doing something suspicious, day or night, call LAPD. LAPD is fully aware of the situation. You can call the different bureaus. You can call 311 and ask for street lighting. We know where our crews are on a normal basis. I've gotten numerous calls on my crews to question what this crew was out here doing. They felt like they may have been stealing. And I can ID the truck, ID my employees. I have a map every day of where my crews are working, so I know exactly the quadrants are working in and so forth. But the biggest thing is that citizens need to be involved, and if they see something suspicious, they can take pictures and call the police, call the different bureaus and let them know, hey, this is what I saw and this is what I'm looking at right now. Because this is not something that's done in 2 minutes. This is something that takes some time. And a lot of times what the guys do is they come out in the daytime and cut the wires, and they come back at night and steal it. And in most areas, if somebody sees something and people complain about the lights out, well, if you have to be involved. If you want better, you have to be involved.
Do these guys sometimes ever foul up and end up electrocuting themselves?
It's in the paper on a routine basis throughout the country of guys being electrocuted. People with their several months ago or so, I read a report of a guy that was out there with his kid in his car, stealing wire. He was arrested. His child obviously went to child services. And you're dealing with electricity, and we have high voltage systems. We do have some high voltage systems. They're 5,000 volt. Most people assume that the lights are off, there's no power. That is not correct.
And I was noticing that with your guys replacing the LED units, it almost after he puts it in, I see the light go on. So there is power surging through those wires.
Yes.
And they're surging through 24 hours a day.
Yes.
This is NEWSWIRE LA, and we'll continue our look inside the Bureau of Street Lighting after these station messages.